This is work like any other. Our sole income for most car guards is just tips. I think they have the misconception of that we get a salary. Just treat us better. We are also humans.
I'm Carol Ofori, and this is the Carol Ofori Podcast for thought-provoking conversations. If you're a South African who drives a car, you encounter these people numerous times every single day. They'll often direct you to an open parking spot and then promise to watch your car while you're doing your shopping, or you're at the beach watching sport at a stadium, or anywhere you'd leave your car in a public place. Now, the unwritten agreement is that when you return to your car, you tip the car guard for keeping your car safe. And with our high levels of crime and unemployment, car guarding remains a viable means to earn a meager living, partly due to our low entry barriers. Car guarding has been around in South Africa since the early 1990s. But what do we really know about car guards in South Africa? Who do they work for? Are they even employed? And how much do car guards earn? With me right now to answer these questions, I have two car guards, Steve Mwabilu and Philip Retief. Hello, gents. How are you?
Hello, Carol. How are you doing, Carol?
Good. How are you doing?
Hello, Carol. I'm well, thanks. And you?
Fantastic. Well, it's good to have you both in studio. Appreciate you taking time out to basically educate most people listening, because we see car guards all the time. We park our cars in spaces where there are car guards, but we never know what it's like to be a car guard. So let me start off with you, Philip. You're an avid listener of the show. It's very nice to meet you in person, by the way. But I'm curious to know, what does your day look like? What does an average day for Philip look like as a car guard?
Well, I start the morning 8 o'clock. In the week, we work from 8 to 4. Saturdays and Sundays, it's 8 to 2 and 8 to 1.
Okay.
During the day, we make our money and then we pay a fixed fee that we call ramp fees.
Ramp fees?
Yes.
Okay. Are you employed by a company that you're paying this over to? Are you paying it to the center? How does it work?
The center is basically subcontracting our company, and then our company pays for them a certain fee. We, however, are supposed to pay for them a certain fee every day.
Okay.
If we don't get that, we are supposed to pay it in the morning.
Okay.
If you don't pay it, then you're not allowed to work. It's like paying rent.
Wow. Okay, so let me understand this, Philip. You arrive in the morning, and before you can start your shift, there's a certain amount you need to pay over to your employers, inverted commas, right? And if you don't pay it over, you're not allowed to start that shift.
Yes. My company is a bit more lenient. We have day shift and night shift. So the store where I work is from 8 to 8 open.
Okay.
So our shift is 8 to 4 in the week, Monday to Friday.
Right.
The night shift starts from 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock.
I see.
So for them, they have to pay it to the day shift supervisor.
Right.
So for us, it's a bit more lenient. As long as we can pay it during the day, we are fine.
All right. So,
but it's supposed to be paid in the morning.
In the morning. So how much are you paying every day to work?
Anything between 35 Rand up to 50 Rand, depending on the day and if it's weekend or not.
Okay. So weekends, I'm assuming you pay a little bit more than weekday. And when you pay, are you allocated bays, or how are you demarcated that you're working in this area, or how does it work?
For the day shift at my center, we work a specific ramp.
Okay.
We are permanently there, and the night shift, they rotate.
All right, Philip, we've heard your side. Now, Steve, I'm curious to find out, what is a day in the life of Steve as a car guard? What does it look like?
For me, Steve, a day I leave my home 7 o'clock.
Okay.
I go to work. I finishing 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And as I arrive 8 o'clock, my children come to hug me. My father coming from work.
All right. And how does it work for you in those 12 hours? Are you employed by someone? Are you contracted by the center? How does it work?
I've been employed from my boss. He employed me.
Okay.
He paid me salary. I'm sorry for my accent. It's French accent. I'm
no problem.
From Congo.
Okay. So is your boss part of the center, or is it an independent company?
Is the part of the center, the boss of the center.
I see.
He's the one who employed me.
Right.
He's paying me every month then.
Okay. So wait, if I'm not mistaken, Philip, What's happening with Steve is very unique, or is it often that the centers employ the car guards themselves?
Yes, it does happen. It's different from site to site.
Right.
But as far as I know, mostly you only get tips. But there are sites that
give you a salary.
That give you a salary, and then on top of that, tips.
All right, so you get a salary, and then obviously people tip you when they come as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think an important question I want to know as well is car guard, the term car guard. Is that acceptable to you, or do you find that offensive? Do you prefer to be called something else?
It's a job that we do, so it's not a swear word or anything, so car guard is fine.
How long have you been a car guard, and what happened that you've made the decision to become one?
For me, it's been since 95, since I came out of school, that I've been car guard or security.
Okay.
But since I came to Durban, in 2007, I've been just car guard here.
And before that, you were in school, you're saying?
In 95.
In 95, okay. And you moved to Durban from which city?
Pretoria.
Oh, from Pretoria. Is that why you're wearing the Blue Bulls hat?
Yes.
So, Steve, do you love being a car guard?
100% for now, I love it.
How long have you been doing it?
I do that for 12 years now, since 2011. I love it so much. Too much and too much.
I believe you are known as the dancing car guard, because whenever people come to the area where you work, you dance and you make them happy. And coincidentally, when Rory mentioned he had booked you, I said, I've actually come to that center and I've seen and engaged with you. But yeah, you stand out because of your energy, and I can see where you draw that strength from.
You're totally right. My energy can just be Holy Ghost.
Yeah. I think we'd love to hear some of that singing that you do when people come to your center.
Swing it another side. Swing it in Glenna Center. Uchi to swing. I like your swinging, Carol. Swing it again, Pojisin. I like your swinging. Swing it another side. Here we go. You've done it before in my office. Well done.
I absolutely love that. Yeah. Philip, you enjoy that?
Yes, very much.
Okay, guys, I want to get down to, I think, the big question. If you don't mind sharing, obviously you must be comfortable. How much do you earn? Are you comfortable sharing with us this, Philip? How much do you earn in a day? Or if you look at it weekly, or if you look at it monthly, how much do you earn? Just approximately, because I do understand that days are different.
Yeah, for me, it's about 4,000 a month.
4,000 a month.
Yeah, that's before the ramp fees are paid.
Right. So if the ramp fees are paid for the month, how much is it?
Then it's about 3.2 to 3.4.
And Steve, are you comfortable sharing how much you make a month?
What I can explain you here now is just the salary that my boss is paying me. I'm getting 3,000 for my boss.
Okay. Philip, let's talk a little bit around when people come and park their cars. What do you expect in return? Is it 5 Rand? Is it 10 Rand? Is it a smile? Is it acknowledgement that you've seen me?
Firstly, recognition, and then our boss says it's voluntary for them to tip. Obviously, it's your money. You can do whatever you want with it, but we would appreciate anything.
Right. So when you say anything, if I reach into my wallet and I pull out 10 cents, does that make sense to you?
No, what's it? But within reason.
So what is it within reason? What do you? Because that's, I think, what South Africans.
Anything from a rand up.
Okay, anything from a. So if I pull out 1 rand and I give it to you, you will be happy with that?
Yes, I will be happy. I don't know
what
about
other people would. Correct.
Yeah.
So anything lower than that, is there an insulting amount? So lower than a rand for you is insulting.
I still accept it. There was one a very long time ago, old lady, that every time that she comes, she takes out the shiny coin. I think she thought that it was a 1 rand, but it was 5 cents.
Oh, shame.
That was really insulting, but I would never tell to the person's face that it's insulting. I will take it and accept it. I hear frequently from my customers that other car guards, they don't accept bronze.
They call it bronze?
Yeah, bronze coins.
Okay, I like that colloquial
or copper.
Bronze. Got you.
But I accept anything. What's it? It's still money. I can still go into Checkers and pay for my stuff.
And for you, Steve, is there an amount that's, an insult? Or are you also like Philip, you just accept anything but brown coins are like, no, that's an insult?
Carol, let's talk about expectation. As you come with your car in my office.
Your office, I love that.
First of all, you park your car. My expectation as you come back to find your car safe. That is all. If you find your car safe, if you move, you give me something or nothing, you always welcome.
So if I give you 5 cents, you're okay?
10 cents, 5 cents. I take all the 5 cents. You see by the till.
Yes.
There is a tin there, the picture of dogs,
one, yes,
all those stuff. I put it in there. That guy is able to go with that money in the bank to feed the cats with the dogs.
I love that you're speaking of your office. So Philip, if it's an office as Steve is speaking about, what is your job description? What are you there to do? When I'm taking up money from I go to work, I'm doing a radio show, I'm doing that. And I take out my money, I'm giving it to you as Philip. What is your job description that I'm actually giving you money for?
Firstly, to make sure that the car stays there, that no one else try to steal it. To make sure that no other car damages it, or if they bump into it, to check for that. If they do, we must.
What do you do?
We take the details of the person. I personally take photos of the car that bumped into the other car, and then they are supposed to exchange detail. Then we are also allowed to help the people when they come out with their groceries.
Okay.
If you don't help, you can't expect it, because they at the shopping mall, there's a lot of people. Some come with 2 or 3 trolleys. You can't expect to do nothing and then expect from them to give you anything.
Right. Okay. Have any of you been in a situation where a car was stolen and you were there? And what did you do?
Me, I never experienced
Philip?
that in my office.
Have you had that?
I've experienced it. We must. Then we take details of the person. We call our supervisor. And on top of the car guards, there's also security for them all. Our supervisor come, they take all the details of the person that says their car was stolen. Then they go to the security and report it. And then we are also supposed to report it to our boss.
Okay. Now we're going to have a little bit of fun. Okay?
Yeah.
I want to know, and it's one-word answers. The cars that tip the most, give me a car brand. Philip?
Suzuki Swift.
Suzuki Swifts are tippers.
Yeah.
Wow. So when you see a Suzuki Swift, you know the person driving here has got a kind heart. They're going to give me something. Okay, I like that.
For me, Ford, Echo, Sport, the new Nissan, Pathfinder, Range Rover.
Range Rover. I was expecting Range Rover because, wow. Yeah.
VW.
Okay.
GT, Dandelion.
Okay.
Prado.
Now I want to ask the flip side. What car, when you see it, you know, just going to be nice because I'm not going to get a tip. Philip?
Not a certain car, but mostly sports cars.
Really? Oh, so the sports guys come brum, brum. And
the expensive cars.
Ah.
The 1 million up. Porsche,
they don't tip the ones driving the Porsche and the Jaguar?
Most of them, no.
Wow, that's crazy. And for you, Steve?
There is a Mercedes ML.
Okay. Wow, Mercedes ML doesn't tip. That is crazy. Here's another quick question. Do you find that young people, Philip, or older people are the ones that are more generous in tipping?
Young ones, the holiday makers, they tip. Nice. And then our regulars, the middle-aged.
Middle-aged. And for you, who are the ones you find are more generous, younger people or older people?
All generation in my office, they tipping me very good. Yeah.
So here's another question I have. What is the biggest tip you've ever gotten?
500 Rand.
Wow. Tell us about the story about this 500 tip. What happened? When was it?
That was a friend of mine back in 2011 or 2012.
Yeah.
He always asked me how much should he tip me. And on that day I said, first I said he must give me whatever he wants. And then something told me no. And I responded to the voice in my head and said, whatever God tells him to give to me. And then he went and he withdrew 500 Rand. And he said, God told him that if I say that specific line, that he must give me 500.
That's amazing. And for you, Steve, the biggest tip?
The biggest tip I received in my life is 6,000.
Wow.
I received that.
And what happened? They just parked the car and they said yes to 6,000 Rand.
He parked the car. He do his shopping. He finish his shopping. He's coming to me, Steve, my friend. This is your chips.
No! Give me your hat and your vest. I'm going to go and be a car guard.
Yeah, it's the truth.
I love that. And how long ago was that?
For now, it's been like 6 years ago.
Wow.
6 years ago.
Wow.
Even not talking about others, I have also one of my friends, her name is Alida. Every month, it's been now like 3 years, he always giving me 2,000 for paying rent.
Wow. So you have some generous people that you guys encounter.
Yeah.
Do you have any people in your life that you've mentioned the person has given you 500 Rand? Do you have any other special stories you can share with us about
Just
people?
one. One of my church people came and I asked for prayer in the church because I was struggling with buying food. And I think that was somewhere 2018. And the guy came just after I got the work there and he asked for me and he said he's going to buy groceries for me. That came up to 1,200.
Wow. So you do get very generous people that you encounter.
Not that often for me, but
let's talk the downside.
Counts.
Let's talk the downside. Thank you so much. Let's talk the downside. What is the nastiest thing that you've ever experienced as a car guard? And it still kind of hurts you that you experienced that.
I'm very passionate about when people park. There's people that I consider as thieves. They don't care if there's a parking open. So I always try to get the first person in that's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But one time, the person just ignored it. I had to jump out of the way, otherwise he would have driven over me. Then the woman that he stole the parking from wrote with lipstick on his car. And he blamed me for it. And I almost got fired from the center because of that. But that still hurts. But there are other
And was
instances.
he verbally abusive? Is that the way he spoke to you?
The way he spoke to me, and when he came, he immediately he didn't even ask. He accused immediately and said it was me that were writing on his thing.
On his car. And for you, Steve, do you have a nasty memory of something that happened while in your office?
Many, because sometimes we're standing there is a other car guard, they already give other customer another image. They're standing just for money. Waiting if he gets his money, does not look anything, does not check. Those customers also, they coming even in our office. But as they coming in our office, one thing I realize, I got one friend of mine now is driving a Toyota Corolla. We've been 6 years that he never even see me like this. Even in the car, he's already start to swearing me.
Wow.
Start already to do all that. He revealed that he hates me very well. But one thing in my office, I have much patience of my customer. Everything he does do, I always answer by laughing, by joy, by happiness. And if you see us today, we are best friends.
Wow.
He's really friend of mine.
Wow.
After 6 years, he hate me, but I always been passionate with his anger, passionate with his bad character, passionate with all attitude he's bringing in my office. And one day I realized that this guy is so important to me. Let's be friendly. Today we are friends. That is only that I have.
Wow. I'm just so curious to know, and I think the listeners will be curious to know a little bit more about who you are. So, Philip, are you a dad? Do you have kids? Do you have a partner? Are you looking after a mom? Just leave us with something so when I'm listening, I can have a picture of, who Philip is.
Yeah, I'm single and available.
Yeah.
But my mom passed away in 2018.
Yeah.
Until then, we looked after our mom, me and my brother. I'm staying with my brother.
Okay.
But I don't have a girlfriend or any kids or anything.
Okay.
But I'm staying with my brother.
All right.
And he's helping a lot. And he's the supervisor at the place where we work.
Oh, that's fine. That's cool. And for you, Steve, tell us a little bit about you.
Steve is the father of the family of 3 kids. I got my wife. I call her my wife because we already married in the spirit. But we waiting that God bless us.
Yeah.
Then we can do a marriage normal like this. But She's my wife. I am renting, the father of the family. Everything is okay.
Wonderful. So you, with your salary, you're looking after yourself, your 3 kids and your wife.
Yes.
And then as we're getting closer to the end, is there something you want to leave someone listening to this podcast about how they treat you, something you want everybody to know? What do you want to say that you'd love to just say to people?
Just that this is work like any other, but our sole income for most car guards is just tips. I think they have the misconception of that we get a salary. Just that they must treat us better. We are also humans. And to my regular customers, thank you for tipping me and looking after me.
Yeah, I think Philip has a point that is very important to all our customers. Just treat us as a human being. And always as we come to stand, we're not coming to stand as a stealer, as a bad people. We are a people also look after the family. And I'll thank too much all my customers who look after my life and my family.
Yeah. Geez, gentlemen, thank you so much for this conversation. I think we've learned a little bit more about the day in the life of a car guard in South Africa from 2 different perspectives, right? We have Steve, who's originally from Congo, moved here, and I know the industry has a lot of people from your country. And then Philip, who's a white man in South Africa as a car guard. So to hear your story as Philip and to hear your story as Steve, I think has really given a lot of people perspective of the car guard industry. And I think for me the biggest takeout, and I've known this because it's been something that I'm very passionate about, and it's about acknowledging people. And it's the same thing that you're asking for. It's just recognize that I'm here and I'm doing my job. Whether you recognize this as a job or not, this is my job.
My job.
And just recognize that I'm here to earn a living as well. So thank you so much, gents. Anything
Pleasure.
I'm leaving out that you want to just get out there to the world, because this is going to be available to the world?
So one last thing for me, there's a saying, everyone brings happiness. Some wherever they go and others whenever they go. I mostly try to think of that when there's bad customers. When they leave, they bring happiness.
Wow, guys. Oh, I didn't anticipate this podcast to be so beautiful. So thank you so much.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Wonderful, wonderful car guards. Steve Mwabilu, as well as Philip Retief, who are car guards, taking time to chat to us. And we thank them for sharing on the Carol Ofori podcast. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's the Carol Ofori podcast. For thought-provoking conversations, listen at ecr.co.za under podcasts or your favorite podcast app.